Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Welcome back. Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cash, live from the living room once again, episode 46 of the Make It Make Sense podcast. I know you probably thought the show was disappeared, dead and gone, or maybe something just happened to us, but nah, just a little scheduled break. Or maybe I'm kind of lying, not really scheduled, unscheduled, but everybody needed a little break. People is busy, so, things change. So didn't want the show to completely just die out. It was not going to say it was looking like that, but the consistency of the episodes was probably going to wane a little bit. But that was just for that little time period in the spring. We're going to work on that. So hopefully the episodes come out as frequently as they did before. That's why you got to make sure that you follow me at Dollars Mims on YouTube and all social media platforms, because the YouTube videos are still going to be coming out like clockwork. And that's where you could get the information on the podcast. It's still going to be coming out on Sundays, but I don't know about that every 2-week schedule. But whatever, we're going to see. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If y'all remember, I had to do it like this, old school style, way back in like episode, I don't know, somewhere in the teens. I can't even remember. But that's the last time where I thought, oh man, this shit about to be over if I don't do something solo and save it. So wanted to touch on, actually, there's been a lot of shit that's happened since we last recorded. Not going to be able to talk about all of it, but I wanted to touch on a couple of the topics quickly or whatever, leave a little something for the folks to listen to for Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start for the summer. So I know people is going to be excited and ready to get the unofficial summer started if you got any plans. But let's be honest, y'all, the way things is looking, the economy, motherfuckers is going to be working this summer. And that's it. Just trying to get by. The regular folk, the rich folk, I'm pretty sure they're going to be just fine. Business as usual. So being that it's just your boy Cash here today, the episode will probably be a little shorter. Obviously, it's not that much people that got to talk, so that'll lessen the time. And also, I'm not going to cover as many topics as I normally would, because I could say that for the YouTube or something. So make sure you go listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, Good Pods, or wherever you may get your podcasts under Make It Make Sense. Make sure you leave a comment. Like I always say, that definitely helps with everything. And that's the best way to find out when the episode is coming up. And you can also email the show either at makeitmakesense22@gmail.com. That's sense with a C, or at dollarsmims@gmail.com if you want to send in any questions or feedback. I actually got a dope email too from a listener who said they haven't heard the show in a while. And I thought that was pretty dope. That made me feel nice that somebody was checking for it. So you can reach out to the show and make sure you listen to it there. Ready to touch into these topics that we got going on. Definitely discuss, I'm going to discuss Diddy getting caught in 4K beating on Cassie. But to kick off the show, I wanted to tie a nice little bow on this Kendrick and Drake situation. Because we haven't done the podcast in a while, about a month in between recordings, in between, as you all know, unless you've been living under a rock, Drake and Kendrick been going at it. The last episode we actually recorded was like the beginning of all of the issues. We talked about the Like That track, discussed whether there were going to be responses from who, and all of that good stuff, which was like sometime beginning of April, I would like to say. And then between then and now, the whole thing has blown up so much so that to fill in the time because they haven't been podcasting, I did a quick YouTube video with C Gutter and Video Dude to help me break down the situation between the two of them, because so much more had happened from when we recorded. And when we do our recordings, we like to give our predictions, discuss what's going on. And to me, one of the best parts is the predictions, because motherfuckers like to cap. You be telling stories and people will never like to own their shit when they on the wrong side of history, because nobody likes to be wrong. I get it. But when you try to press them with it, like, yeah, remember when you said XYZ, you were dead wrong. And they'd be like, I never said that. I didn't say that. And when you have a podcast or when you do anything that's recorded, you can easily pull up the evidence of what people said and what they didn't say. So when I do see things like this between Kendrick and Drake, and we talked about it before, to go back to hear what we said, I like hearing who was right, who was wrong, and did things go out the way we thought it did. So if you didn't listen to the last episode, you played yourself, because you should be listening, especially being that you don't know what episode is going to be the last one of the show. You should be listening. But a lot of us felt J. Cole was going to be the one to respond, which he did, but we didn't think he was going to back out the way he did. And I didn't think Drake was going to respond. And I gave him credit for responding. When we did the breakdown of the situation between the two of them, I actually commended Drake for battling, and I thought his songs was good. I just thought Kendrick's was better. But with the hindsight and like listening to the songs more over the past couple of weeks and having more time to sit with them, this shit was bad. If I was a ref, I would have stopped the fight. Somebody should have stopped the fight. I don't know if Drake is going to make any more songs. We heard from both camps from Kendrick's camp, I should say, that this is it. He's moving on, as he should. He already wiped the floor with this man, had people dancing on his grave and doing all kind of "They Not Like Us" and A minor lines and all that. So he should be done. Discarded Drake's body somewhere. But the main issue with it is that when we discussed it, that Drake didn't really have nothing to gain, I didn't realize how much he had to lose. I don't think he's going to lose money. I don't think it's going to affect him in his pockets or like that. But his credibility, to me, at this point is fucking shot. And when I went back and really thought about it, I was like, I don't even know why he got this moniker of being some kind of battle rapper for other people. For me, I realized like the only reason I fuck with Drake. So let me get that out the way first. But I fuck with the old Drake. Just like that song, I miss the old Kanye.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new
old Kanye. Like I miss the old Drake. Putting about strippers Drake. Talking about he's drunk. Do you miss me, Drake?
I would try. Is happy with a good guy, but I've been drinking so
not this
much.
fake Jamaican accent Drake, not this wannabe tough guy Drake. Like Kendrick said, won't be no problems. You just keep away from my fingers. There won't be no threats. Just stick to that. But anyway, he's on his mob tie shit and all that and whatever else the case may be now and shit like that. But people realize that he's a fraud when I say that. So check this out. Check out the timeline. Before the beef with Meek, I thought Meek will wash him. Not because Drake couldn't rap, but because Meek was a so-called battle rapper. It went terribly. In fact, Meek was the one who got wiped down. So after that made me, and probably a lot of people be like, oh, we underestimated Drake. Like he could battle, he could do this, he can do that. But what has he done since then? What happened with Drake and Meek, I think, is more of a sign of Meek being trash than Drake being great. Because after that, Pusha T demolished him. And everybody takes L's. Nas beat Jay-Z. It happens. It's better if you don't lose terribly, but whatever. Loss is a loss. Settle it, cool. The Drake and Kanye situation don't even count because Kanye didn't really do any bars. This was mostly a lot of talking shit, whatever. Joe Martin had hella smoke for Drake. I don't even fault him for not answering back because, again, nothing to gain, a whole bunch to lose. What does he have to gain doing a diss battle with Joe Buttons? Fuck with the show, fuck with him, but that's pointless, okay? So we'll let him side that one. But it still don't look good. Like, yeah, you could get away with it, but don't think that people is not looking at you a certain way. Like, I noticed, just because I didn't really bash him for not responding, I noticed that he didn't respond and also thought even if he did, he probably would have got smoked. But that's neither here nor there. So fast forward to now, and we got this thing with Kendrick, and based off of, because a lot of people that's not in the pocket of Drake, don't got their OVO knee pads on, waiting to catch a golden shower from Drake in the face, can be honest and subjective about his music. You could be honest that it hasn't been hitting the way it was in the past, but hey, that happens to everybody. You know, time comes for everybody. The way I see it, there's two ways you could go as an artist. You either A, grow with your fan base because they're growing up and you start to talk about things that affect you at that age with your fan base, or B, you do what he did and you keep doing what you've been doing and talking about the same thing and keep catching a new wave for a younger audience. I don't knock it, but it ain't for me. So me and a lot of people who think like that, I think just checked out of his music in general. He did his best, but that shit wasn't good enough. And as I redoubled down and listened to them more and more and heard the setup, how Kendrick set him up, lined it up, told him what was going to happen, foreshadow, I was like, oh yeah, nah. Somebody read 48 Laws of Power and somebody knows about rap, like Rap Wars. I thought for sure if Drake did lose, it was only going to be on the lyrical front, even though I will admit, before, not the biggest Kendrick fan. It's not like I heard all of his music, all of his tracks. I definitely went back and started listening to him more after this. But I didn't know who was going to win before it started. And even in the middle of it, I thought it was pretty even. But now, like, yeah, nah. It was a masterclass in rapping that he gave him. And this is another L that's going to go on Drake's jacket, and he could come back from it. The people that still love him going to still love him. The people that hate him is going to continue to hate. So over time, this shit probably will blow over, but I don't want to hear anybody talk about Drake being the greatest of anything anymore. It's over for that. Red, who couldn't join us on the show, I don't know where she saw it, but she said Drake stand for do not rap against Kendrick ever again, and he should have took that advice. Somebody should have told him in his camp, like, yeah, nah, this is not the one. This is not the battle. But I'm glad he at least tried and didn't just completely duck the smoke. It was good for the industry. Everybody enjoyed it. It had everybody talking, and it definitely gave a lot of people some cover to not have their situations come up and be brought up. So they was celebrating because that finished as soon as this ended. The shits started happening, and we're gonna definitely get to those said shits when we get to the other topics. But before we move off of, I keep saying we. See, I'm so used to recording with the whole crew in here. I got to get used to the solo mente shit. Because, again, it's either solo or y'all don't get nothing at all. So this is how it's going to be. But I wanted to say that Metro BBL Drizzy was hella funny. I ain't going to front. Like, he did some good shit with that track, making that beat. This was one of them rare times that I wish I still rapped just so I can make some music to that beat. We'll end up seeing whether or not there's any more back and forth. The beef is over for now. I do think we will hear Drake send some sneak shots or sneak disses Kendrick's way when he drops some music. If Kendrick does have an album coming out, I wouldn't be surprised if he threw some shots still at Drake. So it's supposed to be over, but we're gonna see what happened. But I will say, at this point, Rocky don't need to get up. I mean, Adrian crying on Rocky, don't get up. Don't get up. And what's his name? Rocky's trainer, you're a bum. That's how I feel like Drake's camp and his friends are saying to him right now. Don't get up and you're a bum.
What's the matter? You got nothing left inside, huh? Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
But you really not. You just lost this fight. So go make your music. Get your BBLs. Fuck 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, whatever you want to do. And you'll be all right. Just don't rap against Kendrick ever again. So we're going to move. There we go with that we shit again. I'm going to move off of Kendrick and Drake. And let me know if you guys disagree when you listen to this podcast. Who you think won? Because I got it. Whatever I thought was before was 5-0. The nigga lost. It's over. He's out. So let me know what you think. Alright? Let us know. Email, comments underneath the post on our YouTube video what you think about the battle. So getting off of Kendrick and Drake, time to get back into Diddy. You don't gotta ask whether Diddy do it. Diddy done it. So I'm pretty sure by now a lot of people have seen the unfortunate video of Diddy putting the beat down on Cassie in 4K in the hotel footage. Some really disgusting shit. And this brings a lot more to the light about what was going on with him. If you didn't think he was done before, that man is done now. There is no explaining this. There's no getting out of it. And again, even if everything that people thought about him or that was said about him wasn't true, and it was a cash grab, like some people was out here embarrassing themselves saying it, it's hard to say that's not the case now. That is the case, I'm sorry, because that one little evidence, that's all it takes, especially when shit is on video. Said this before. It hits different when you can see it. Ray Rice doesn't do what he did on camera, his career is probably not over. But when people could see the footage, that makes it 100 times worse. And the no remorse that he had for the way he put his hands on her, and the fact that she made these exact statements in her claim. If you look at the lawsuit, the claim of that incident is right there. So to the people who say like, oh, well, it's BS for this reason because she left. Oh my God, that's what happens when you have a mascot. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I'm back, and I promise I didn't assault the dog. That's not the reason that she's quiet now. No Diddy. Is it too soon? After that video came out, people was scrambling so fast to get away from him. They was damn near breaking a leg. But I would love to know where was that same energy when he was doing this shit. If you in the midst of it and you in the industry, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about this. And I'm loath to give G's credit because he be saying some wild shit sometimes. But he made up the point when we was discussing it about why nobody didn't come forward at that time. And I gave the reasons. I know why they might not have, but doesn't make it any better. Doesn't excuse it at all. And if you was defending him, Stevie J, you got some explaining to do because you look stupid now and you got egg on your face. That's why I said when we was discussing Drake and Kendrick, and it goes to anybody, not just in the music industry, in life. You think you know people, but sometimes you don't know what the fuck somebody is capable of. So I'm never going to go out on a limb and vouch for none of these niggas. I'll never be like, oh, no way Diddy didn't do it because he's this, and this. I don't know that, man. Same way I wanted to say like, oh, I know Kendrick did this to his girl or Drake did this to girls and this. Like, I don't know neither one of these niggas. Like, I'm not going to vouch nothing. I'm going to see the evidence like everybody else. I'm going to form an opinion and I'm going to go off of that. To my friends, some of them I love like brothers. Same thing. I can't vouch for these niggas because I don't know everything about them. If you think your friends or anybody you know always tells you the truth 100% of the time, then I got a bridge I would like to sell you. So I'll go, but only so far. Like, yeah, I fuck with somebody and yeah, I don't know that their behavior to be like that. That's not the person that I know. But if more comes out and it's true, then I'm not with that shit. That's what you say. But when you get on the it didn't happen and you're stupid for bringing it up, showing backstage footage of his parties like this is black excellence. No, nigga, it's black hedonism, capitalism dressed up as excellence. Real niggas see you look dumb for defending somebody that hard, and then this person comes out and they look like a fucking monster. It makes you look stupid. Stevie J, you look goofy. Number one, and King with that corny ass diss track, you goofy. Number two, not for defending his dad, but by making it hot, releasing that trash ass diss track. This 50. Now he got a multi-series Netflix documentary coming called Surviving Diddy. Should have just kept your mouth shut. Last episode, over a month ago, me and Red said we thought he was going to jail. Well, stay tuned and see what happens because it's not looking good. And in the midst of recording this episode, it turns out the Feds is gathering an indictment on him. They're gathering up the evidence. So it looks like in due time, we're going to find out the outcome of all of this. And it's real when Biggie Moms, who's like one of the nicest ladies it seems like around, says she want to smack Diddy. If she ever sees him, now that's some funny shit. I'm sure a lot of people want to do something now. But again, where was all this energy when he was on his monster tour? I get it because defending why someone ain't come out, but not and all that, because I said before, there is such things as power dynamics and all that. But all you motherfuckers was scared, just chose to look the other way. So now when he's going down, some of y'all want to try to say something. So hopefully those who stood idly by and watched him go by doing this get their comeuppance too, because they're just as guilty. And before I move on, the last thing I want to say on that, because I will never not till the end of time miss a chance to make fun of Carisha, her whack ass pod or its undeserved awards. Now that Diddy's not pissing on her anymore.
I'm gonna piss on it.
Young Miami unfollow him. So let's see how many podcast awards she wins, how many she wins going forward. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's gonna be a big fat donut. So I wanted to discuss what's going on with Act. After talking about Diddy, I'm almost drained. I want to do a more deep dive discussion on what Act is going through, because he's going through some real shit. So I'm gonna do a YouTube video on that, so look out for that. Or what I wanted to talk about was actually just some sad shit going on with him. So as you know, as the Kendrick and Drake back and forth was going on, Act was basically at the center of the controversy, breaking the tracks, the reactions, getting the music. Might have been probably the pinnacle of his career, if we being honest. Oh, I happened to see a stream of his. I clicked on it because it was on, and he has a birthday cake that he bought for himself, and he was celebrating his birthday with the chat niggas, which 90% of them are probably only there to watch him crash out. So while he was going back and forth with his ex Shay, he was saying how females can't keep up with his schedule. Basically, he said he starts his day at 8 a.m. drinking Hennessy.
Yes, I don't care what they say. Suckers really shouldn't play. I hit him with the Hennessy.
If you watch his streams, he's definitely drinking all the time. So from his own account, he's basically streaming, drinking, and getting done dirty by women all day. Seeing that sad ass birthday made me realize it's crazy how someone could have money and it could seem like they really got it, but they really ain't got shit. All the streaming dollars in the world can't make you happy. Money can't buy you real friends. Money can't make a female not try to fuck every Tom, Dick, and Harry, regardless of how well you taking care of her financially. So like, this is just my personal opinion. Act don't seem like a happy man. Not even counting the other allegations he got going on, which is some extra serious shit. He very well might end up out of here at some point. All the things that's going on, time will tell, but it doesn't look good. And it's unfortunate to see someone work that hard, because say what you want about Act, he be on his motherfucking grind. I've woken up at 3, 4 in the morning and seen this mofo still on stream drinking. I'd lose my mind talking to people I actually like that much. Never mind a room full of strangers on a daily basis. Like, how these streamers actually don't lose their minds is beyond me. I can't prove it, but I have a feeling in some years we're going to see the real damage the streaming shit causes. Because currently, Act might have bigger problems than who he celebrates his birthday with. Star was from Hot 97. Y'all know back in the day, Star on the Buck Wild Show was insinuating that Act leaked the Diddy tape to get the heat off of his grape allegations. While I think that would have been some brilliant move, I don't think he got that kind of pull. But I watched someone celebrate the highlight of their career, followed by the saddest celebration I ever seen. That was a lonely man blowing out a lonely birthday cake. So Act's personal life, especially his relationships, have seemed like they've been affected by this lifestyle. His comments about women not being able to keep up with his schedule, which I'm going to pass on a female that could drink Hennessy all day. That's a no for me, though.
It's definitely a no for me,
all
dog.
day, his admission of starting his day with alcohol, that all of that paint a picture of somebody struggling to balance their personal life and their career. It's obvious this streaming shit ain't going anywhere, but it's definitely worth considering the long-term effects of living like that. I actually know someone who does the drinking all day thing mixed with partying instead of streaming. Maybe I should ask them. But that constant pressure to perform like some kind of show pony on camera, the lack of privacy, and the potential for burnout is all serious cost to pay just to make it. Well, I guess time is going to tell the damage of this thing. But Act's situation should definitely remind anybody that success is not always what it's cracked up to be, and glamour is not what it seems. That fame and fortune, the cost, sometimes is just way too much. Oh, it's a sobering thought. Some Act knows nothing about. Oh, that was a bar. Double entendre.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Last
My
thing
name
I wanted to discuss a little bit off of what we usually talk about. Quick peek behind the curtain. Before I started the podcast, I wanted to discuss things like the economy, lies we've been told about this being an equal opportunity country, general plight of everyday people, and the things they don't be telling us. But unfortunately, I found out my co-host couldn't have conversations like this and sound knowledgeable. And I don't want to have us up here sound like idiots. And 2, the more I thought about it, I felt it might not do well in retrospect. I should have just spoke about what I'm passionate about, but it's no biggie. I could always pivot, and I realize now, once you have an audience, they'll listen to you talk about anything. And if no one listens, oh well, that's part of the game. 2024 has been a struggle for a lot of people, and that's putting it mildly. The faults are up on everything: cars, homes, credit cards. As of today, there's not a single state in the United States where you could find an affordable place to live on minimum wage. Let that sink in. The average price for a home went up 78% from June 2021 to June 2024. Now, I can't speak for my listeners, but I can speak for myself. And I know I ain't making 78% more dollars in the past 3 years. Things are an absolute mess unless you're basically in the top percentile of society. We live in a system that's designed to work for only a few. But the greatest trick I think I've ever seen in my life and continue to see is the lies told to regular, everyday people. And when I say regular, I mean not a millionaire or billionaire, not someone born with a silver spoon or every advantage. And don't get it fucked up. Those people fail too sometimes. But just having money as a safety net allows you to try things and fail over and over and over as many times as you want. Just look at Donald Trump. As I've gotten older, I realize a lot of people don't know money, myself included. Now I'm learning, and I've learned a lot in the last 5 years or so. But that information, I had to go out of my way to understand and find my way. Because these are not the things they're going to teach you, even in private school, let alone public school. It wasn't until I was an adult and had to start adulting, I realized the purpose of the inner city school system is just to train employees and teach kids to follow instructions and get used to the 8 hours they're going to spend at work for the next 40 years of their lives. I want to give a shout out to the YouTube channel Second Thought, because it also provided me with a lot of information on that subject before I dove into it myself that helped give me the baseline for it. See, most people are financially illiterate and they're okay with it. Even if you called them that, they wouldn't take it no kind of way. But if you told someone they was illiterate, they'd be hella offended. And here's the thing, both is awful, but most of us are just so used to struggling or seeing our parents struggle or family members in general, we assume it's the norm to stress over bills, live paycheck to paycheck, wonder how you're gonna fill your fridge. But it's far from normal. They just have a lot of people convinced this is the way things gotta be when they don't. It's hard to be creative, start a movement, follow your passions or anything when you're trying to keep your head above water. The human brain doesn't work that way. So even if only one person listens to my show or watches the YouTube, I hope I can impart, if nothing else, that the only failure is the failure of not even trying. However you may choose to go about it, don't fall victim to the 40-40 trap. And when I say 40-40, I mean 40 hours for 40 years. If you don't like your job, start up a side hustle. If you lack in the knowledge in certain areas, go get it. Whether through school, doing your own research and self-teaching, asking someone who's already doing what you aspire to do, or whatever. The only L is in not even trying. Every morning I wake up, I say to myself, it's my right to be rich, happy, and successful. Money flows to me freely, copiously, and endlessly. I'm wonderfully blessed this way, and it's beautiful. I gotta recite that sometimes to get out of my own head, because I be overly critical when it comes to myself sometimes. And I need that reminder to remember that things ain't all bad, and look at what you've accomplished so far. So that's like my morning prayer and my morning routine. I may not pray to Jesus or God or the one with 6 arms or Allah, you know what I mean? But that's what I recite for me.
What?
And
a
lot of people will probably laugh at that. But listen, I could care less, because I know faith in yourself is the starting point of the accumulation of all riches. I really believe every man who he is because of the thoughts that dominate his mind, whether that be positive or negative. And I'll let y'all know, for those who don't know me too well, that I've always been pretty much overly pessimistic. Life will do that to you. So that was a value that I had to really unlearn, and reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind really helped me with that. Someone who has knowledge will always have value. I say all that to say I almost consider not doing this anymore. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but I felt like it wasn't going where I wanted it to. And I thought about the things I could be doing instead of editing videos, coming up with topics, posting on social media, basically all the shit that comes with this that I don't enjoy. I guess I could just use my free time to play Destiny in 2K or something. Nothing that will help my life in the future though. And I had to remind myself, and don't get it twisted, it didn't take one day for me to convince myself of this. Hence why we haven't had a show in a while. But it was the belief in the bigger picture and remembering that growth isn't always in an upward trajectory. There's peaks, valleys, but there's nothing worse for someone like me or anyone who's a thinker giving the rest of your life to a 9-to-5 making someone else money. Now, there's nothing wrong with a job. We all need to work. But my purpose on this earth isn't to pay bills and die. No one should be. And I hope as many people as possible get that message. Because until you do and try to go out and build something for yourself or try to do things differently, you're going to end up in a place, and let's be honest, for a lot of us, that's not some place where we want to be, where you just struggling to get by. So I want to close out the episode with a Cashism. Remember Jerry Springer? All kind of wild shit would happen. Cheating, abuse, stalking, gay butt sex, wrestling strippers, you name it, it happened on Jerry. And then he would close with some fly, sane message that made everything seem so smooth at the end of the episode after you watch all that insanity. So after all the episodes that I do solo, however many we have moving forward, I want to leave y'all with a Cashism, some real shit. Knowledge is more valuable than money in the long run. Invest in yourself. It pays the best dividends. And remember, the only real loss is the failure to try. So that's it for episode 46, y'all. It only took me like 3 weeks to make. I'll try to do better. But stay tuned for episode 47. And don't forget to rate, review, and check out the YouTube channel at Dollars Mims. DOLLARSMIMS. It's your boy Cash.
Don't sweat my dad.
Keep making sense of the world. And I'm going to see you guys next time.
Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs fragrances this holiday season. From the iconic Daisy and Perfect to the all-new Daisy Wild, Marc Jacobs perfume gift sets include everything she needs to feel special. From her favorite fragrance, plus the matching travel spray, holiday gifts don't get much more perfect than this. So if you're looking for a gift inspiration these holidays, gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs. This is what you do when you've just found that statement handbag on eBay and you want to build an entire wardrobe around it. You start selling to keep buying. Yep, on eBay. Over that all-black everything phase? List it and buy all the color. Feeling more vintage than ever? It's out with the new and in with the pre-loved. Next thing you know, you've refreshed your wardrobe basically without spending a dime. Yeah, eBay, the place to buy and sell new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
Goes out to all the sewer rat bitches who refuse to suck in the gut and tighten up a do-rag. Hammer foot princess. Yeah. Straight loving you, girl. Come on. A bum, bitch. Come on. Yeah. Gave you $20 the other night. You said you lost it, but I knew you hit the pipe. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. You're just a loser. And you're not too bright. You serve no purpose. But that's alright. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. You stole my Rolex. And that wasn't right. Bought yourself a 40-ounce bitch. Now I wanna fight. Break your neck. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. Bum bitch. Yeah. You a bum bitch. Yeah. You a chicken bitch. Bum bitch. You a scrub bitch. Bum bitch. You a pigeon bitch. Bum bitch. You a steak bitch. Bum bitch. You a hoe bitch. Bum bitch. Yeah. You a sloppy bitch. Savage bitch. Thug bitch. You a slick bitch. What? Bum bitch. Love you bum bitch. Scrub bitch. Pigeon bitch. Stank bitch. Bum bitch. Hoe bitch. Bum bitch. Stay bitch. Fuck my brother. Cause you're living trife asshole. He said you burnt him. But that's alright. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. Cause you're my bum bitch. Bum bitch. And we'll get by. Yeah. You say you're pregnant, but
those dates just don't seem right. You swear you're gonna keep it, well that's really out of sight.
It's out of sight.
And you're still my bum bitch.
Still my bum bitch.
And we'll get by.
We'll get by, we'll get by.
And you're still my bum bitch.
Bum bitch, bum bitch.
And we'll get by.
We'll get by, we'll get by. Remix. Yeah. Bum bitch, the bitch, the bitch, bitch, the bitch, the bitch, bitch, you're just a bum bitch. Bum bitch, the bitch, the bitch, bitch, the bitch, the bitch, bitch, you're just a bum bitch. Bum bitch, oh bitch, stay bitch, chicken bitch, you's a bum bitch. Bum bitch, oh bitch, bum bitch, the bitch, the bitch, 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 bitch. Bum bum ba bum ba bum bitch, the bum bitch, the bum bitch, the bum bitch. I love you, bum bitch, the bum ba bum bitch, the bum ba bum bitch.